Might not be seeing the Taros for long, but that's what we're starting with on game number 1.
We'll see if he can dethrone the king, as Godly has run EU for a while, but AmGG has been all about the upsets today. First one to pick up a weapon, also got the second one. He's got his comfort, he's got the chakrams. Godly, though, not able to get the weapon pick up as AmGG starting to run wild, but runs out of tools. Resets with the ground touch. Godly!
Chase dodge up, okay. I mean, Godly had not found any momentum whatsoever. Like 2 solid strings from AmGG. We're already approaching orange.
Okay, weapon toss to keep the pressure going. Nice sidelight, goes for a second nair there.
And this is where the Taros can really thrive in this type of matchup, right? Godly, we mentioned the patient play that we're seeing. There's those 45-degree angles and the gravity cancel swinging in for the first strike. I mean, that's why you pick it.
Yes.
That is why you pick Taros.
You go in with those downlights, and then you have that down signature. Such a strong KO tool, and AmGG was not ready for it. Didn't even try to challenge with the down air.
But all that being said, AmGG could answer right back. The chase dodge spends almost all the resources here, so Godly just gets one single aerial on the way out.
All right, Godly, though, getting some good hits in. Gets that downlight, goes for the neutral air, but AmGG able to dodge, but still Godly doing a really good job playing that sharking game.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Godly wants. AmGG is kind of playing into the strategy. That should be stock close to it. Next recovery split will go, or you could attempt to fuse and do something else.
Impossible. I think it's actually illegal.
It could be.
Ooh,
you never know. Okay,
sideline?
here's the thing that was a little bit concerning, though, in the Godly set versus the last Priya that we got was the hammer was kind of a non-factor.
Yeah.
I feel like we almost wanted to see Godly over-index towards the axe.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like the hammer was a little bit of a struggle in his earlier matchup against Frydazol, but you know what? Already looking a little bit better. He was able to hit that neutral signature. Godly, back to the axe, though. How is he going to try to finish this one off? Is it going to be a Sig? Is it going to be a Sair? Or is he going to just add up the damage?
Okay. Yeah, and once again, I think it's option 3, at least for right now. Godly, totally acceptable to take just the hits that he can get. Anything will do. Look at this. I mean, deep red from AmGG. You're looking down at Taros. It's frightening, to say the least.
I'm pretty sure the last time I saw a sidelight hit somebody that high was like in training mode when I just set the bot to have 800 damage on him.
Yeah, our TVs didn't have color back then when we were able to see it. I'm getting war flashbacks seeing that one happen, but there's a stock off the top finally. Godly, I mean, firmly in position to take this first stock, and the game plan is looking extremely sound.
Yeah, looking solid. Not out of the woods just yet. He still has to get through this final stock of AmGG, and we've seen AmGG get some reversals here, but here come the chakrams. Misses the read with that gravity cancel side sig.
Yeah, and in a lot of these spots now, when you're coming up against a legend like Taros in the hands of Godly, AmGG is putting himself in situations where he's sweat beating very high up, right? So it's just a matter of reading the drift correctly one time, and Godly gets 1, 2, 3 hits, maybe even a whole stock.
Yeah, you're seeing AmGG starting to get a little nervous here. He's throwing out a lot less safe options. Goes in for the double dare. Godly able to avoid it. Good spot dodge through Godly's attack.
Ooh, dodges through the weapon toss as well and picks up the KO off the top. That's probably best case scenario you could have had if you're AmGG.
Yeah, couple it with the fact that Godly did just pick up an axe, and now he's going to be stuck on this hammer. And AmGG might be able to get some damage here, but might not matter as a stomp side air.
Ooh.
That didn't hit.
Okay, AmGG gets a turn. This is unarmed from Godly, so you just have to swing to get off me, and yeah, there is the axe. The old reliable, I mean, it had worked in years past, and it is surely going to keep working now. That's game 1, going over to Godly.
And that right there is one of the reasons why Taros is a special pick in this matchup. It's because you don't have to go blow for blow. Taros tends to win out when you go blow for blow because he's coming in here with a whole lot of strength, so he's hitting really hard with these big old weapons.
Godly 2 games away from being our EU champion. It's just Priya everywhere, a sea of this new legend. And Godly says, I defy all of it.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say, the cream of the crop rises to the top, and then that right now is Godly, who has risen above all of these Priyas here in the top 4. Godly, though, with the hammer. We'll see if he can do anything, because right now, AmGG finally getting the first hit, or getting hit for the first time, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this followed almost the exact same pattern as Game 1. AmGG went off to a red-hot start with a couple of really amazing strings, but as soon as Godly picked up the axe, it's like, let's bring this gameplay screeching to a halt and make AmGG really have to think hard about what approach options he has.
Okay, Nair, as AmGG was sweating towards that soft platform. Another Nair. AmGG is in a little bit of trouble here. The Stomp not going to connect.
Yeah, right idea, though, to just patrol that weapon spawn with the Stomp. AmGG cooking a little bit too hard here. That could have been GCD light ground pound unarmed. I think that's what Godly was posturing for.
Easy punish. Going to be the neutral light. Not quite enough to KO, though.
Okay, off stage, no weapon in sight, so Godly wants to instead go for that. Maybe just go for Stomp Stare now.
Both of them just sliding right past each other. The side air will get that first KO. Godly did take a decent tick of damage here, though, and that's why AmGG was sticking on that sword so long. It's because he was like, I know, it's sword. I just got to get a recovery. Just got to get a side air.
Yeah, and I mean, in true honest fashion, that might be the answer that AmGG needs to at least kind of create some parity between the two of them again, right? Like, he's playing a lot from behind, picking up stocks after Godly has just slowed the pace down a decent amount. The sword will just find you those simple options to get KOs, but wait a minute.
AmGG actually ended that string with the gravity cancel sidelight there, was trying to get a little bit of a reset for a chase dodge. I think Nair, because I think he was out of tools to go for a recovery, but still good pressure, good damage coming out from AmGG.
Ooh, Godly looking to break the ankles a little bit, crossing up with the dash jump behind.
You would know.
Don't do that. That one hurt.
Yeah, I know. I saw the brace.
Godly trying to get a little bit more momentum under his belt. Just the Sair will at least force the offstage and a disarm to boot.
Ooh, not able to get that recovery, though. AmGG goes in, dash in, and downlight to split. Godly knows one good swing. AmGG, though, with so much movement, Godly not going to swing on it yet.
Such a scary pick is Taros, right? Yeah, and once again, the divider has been set at the middle of the stage, right? Godly says if you come anywhere near this weapon spawn, you're taking a stomp. Okay.
Oh. Yo, AmGG, weapon toss will hit. AmGG stealing out the lead over Godly.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Godly could answer this back with just like GCD sig like we saw in the first game. It could be just about anything, especially with the axe in hand. But AmGG, first real meaningful lead of the set and extending it that much further with another string to bring towards orange. Okay.
Yep, I like the decision there from AmGG. Chase dodges towards the stage, knows he has to go for a reset, was running out of tools. Hammer in hand, went for the scoop up.
That's
AmGG's
really bad for Godly. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Godly was going for a stomp there. I mean, why? Look at where AMG was, so far above. Gets the reversal hit that he's looking for, but the damage that he has taken as a result could be the end of game number 2.
Back to the axe. Sword in hand for AmGG. Godly's taking so much damage. AmGG could finish this off with a weapon toss, and he will.
He does.
He's going to get himself on the board. 1-1.
Crazy showing from AmGG. And I mean, I think, again, at a high level, the split chakrams, like we're not seeing a shortage in lack of KO power, right? Especially if you get a really solid read off of a dodge or a drift pattern. It's very easy to get early damage, even to yellow and beyond, in the first like interaction of the game. The problem is from Godly's side, what are you stomping, bro? Like, he's above you.
Yeah, I really feel like there was that spot on the second stocks where Godly had AmGG in the red and he just had a hammer in hand and he's like, what do I do? Like, what attack do I throw out? Because none of them would hit or lead to a KO if they would hit. Now he's making the swap over to the Nyx. The other option he had, he played it earlier in his matchup against Frydisol. We'll see if he does just as well with it here.
Yeah, and I mean, I would go as far to say the Scythe and Blasters, he almost looks more comfortable with 2 weapons versus it's a little bit of an awkward slanted matchup with the Hammer versus Chakram. So I like the swap from Godly, and I, like you said, it worked out versus Frydasol, so it might work out here as well.
All right, striking around a little bit. AmGG approaching from the air.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Good swap
nice
there.
Two-piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we had said that we kind of feel Blasters are probably the preferred weapon, at least for early damages, because you can challenge so much space where Chakrams have just seemingly thrived so far.
Yeah, especially like in neutral, I think Godly's a little bit more comfortable with the Blasters here. You see the side airs. He's even going high. Another side air. AmGG will be able to get to the wall.
Oh, waiting for a jump. Godly, though, still in good position. AmGG with the reversal hit. Dare doesn't connect. Godly touches the wall, and there's no punish to be had, so AmGG safely back towards stage, but for how long?
Good dodge there from AmGG as Godly hit the soft side light into the jump side air. Blaster's side air might do it. Blaster's recovery definitely will, but the question is if he can get the hit for it.
I think Sayers, yeah, just enough at this point, too. Okay, not from that position. Oh, he waited, and there it is. First strike going over towards the Knicks.
Yeah, can't fault Godly for that last part. He hit the side light and was really hoping AmGG was going to dodge wrong so he could come in, maybe hit a recovery, hit a side air. Instead, just waited out, and then he went in. Jumps into the neutral sig there.
Okay, awkward position. Can Godly flip it? Doesn't want to yet. And again, recovery from the ground. If the Chakrams are split, it doesn't KO, like in red. So Godly can kind of afford to take a few more of these hits, knowing if he gets a favorable trade at the outset of it. Off stage. Still not enough.
Yeah, weirdly enough, like, split Chakrams become almost less of a threat because it can't string into itself.
Exactly.
So it's just like resetting neutral and you're not getting KO'd. So it's like, okay, I guess that's fine.
Could be a bit of the arthritis of the weapon. Harder to get those KOs unless you just get single hits towards those high damage thresholds. But finally, AmGG does get the stock. Godly a little bit ahead. No Sarah in sight, though, quite yet. Okay, there's the scoop up from AmGG, but Godly answers back with a pair of Sares off stage. Is this just going to be Dare? It could be ground pound, could be anything. Jockeying for position, waiting for the jump up from AmGG was absolutely perfect.
No, but he's still got plenty of movement here. Godly not able to get the hit in the off stage. AmGG goes for the gravity cancel neutral light.
Ooh, and now Godly sweat beating as well. AmGG capitalizing on the panic option. Ooh, AmGG's starting to claw back some damage at least. That's going to be a whiff punish, but disarm means it's not going to KO again.
Trying to hit the side air. AmGG with a good dodge. Double down air.
Okay,
triple
pause.
down air. Where's this air? AmGG, once again, going for the vertical. Godly with the recovery, gonna get the KO, but he's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, AmGG has really brought this back. I mean, good weapon spawn position for AmGG could mean it's just an even bout. That was a little bit unlucky, honestly, for AmGG, that Godly was able to pick that one up. Now back on the sword for AmGG. Could be just Sair, and that's got to do it.
Yeah, not enough there. Godly, little too obvious there with that recovery straight over the platform. AmGG not taking the bait and trying to challenge. Instead, just waits it out and hits that side air. Now it's final stocks here in game number 3.
Yeah, and I mean, just like that, AmGG has actually taken a lead. Okay. Slight lead now in terms of damage. Swing and a miss from AmGG. Godly going to work off the right side. Gets the swing.
The chase dodge up, hits the side air, swaps over to the blasters, getting good damage. He's in position, but AmGG not going to dodge.
And this is so much more trademark Godly. Look at how far off the stage he's going to try to commit for the stock. AmGG hanging on.
He's so good at just like putting his presence out there and just threatening. AmGG not panic dodging too much. Oh, you can see Godly wanting to get underneath him for the recovery.
Yeah, and we really haven't seen Godly present that reversal option at all yet. There's Sair. High angle, nowhere in sight though. AmG easily makes it back towards the stage.
There's a weapon spawn. AmGG dodges away from it. Coverage from the weapon toss.
Ooh, okay. Sword scary, even at this threshold, right? D-Light recovery is very close, if not just outright in that position. What? Where are you going? Where are you going?
Committed so hard with the Blaster's recovery, thought he was going to catch AmGG with those initial kicks, but AmGG got past it, got the turnaround, and that is AmGG currently up 2-1, one game away from a reset and another best of 5.
Wow, we thought that Godly was coming in here showing why he is still the best to ever do it in Europe. AmGG is challenging with this new legend on the board, and now Godly is playing on the back foot, needs to win 2 in a row to close out this tournament. Otherwise, yeah, like you said, another best of 5 set between these two.
And it's unfortunate on Godly's side because I feel like he can't afford mistakes, really. Like that last moment there, it was a relatively minor mistake, but it led to him getting KO'd. Like, if you really want to distill it, it's like, okay, bro, press the recovery button wrong. Like, it's just unfortunate because AmGG capitalizes so hard off of it.
100%. Yeah, and I mean, there's so many ways we could dilute a situation like that down, right? Like a little bit less damage, and it's such a non-factor that would even have been a mistake. But hey, that's the way that the situation ended up, and AmGG capitalized, like you said, to make set point here for the reset over EU's finest.
Ooh, he wasn't on stage, so it was a Nair instead of the end light. I think he wanted the end light. Right now, AmGG just wanting to find more hits onto Godly, and he is succeeding so far. He's just throwing out dare after dare after dare.
Okay, tries to cover the back with a weapon toss. There's the implementation of the Nair once again, specifically when playing underneath. If recovery won't get the KO, I do think it's a pretty solid option to at least just push away, force the reset. But signature number 1 from AmGG will get first strike. Dude, this could be a reset.
It's definitely looking like it, especially because AmGG is probably in his best position he's been in against Godly this entire set. Okay. Grab to cancel sidelight, gets that weapon toss after the recovery. Downlight, ground pound, AmGG is gone. Evens it up just like that.
Yeah, and I mean, strings like that are the reason why, you know, we were kind of wondering in the Frydasol set with Godly, oh, he's using the Scythe a lot more often, right? That's the reason that we get to see it. So, Godly a little bit more comfortable on this weapon, opting for this now instead.
Ooh. I kind of like that option. He saw the dodge come out from AmGG, and he was like, this should cover a lot of things that you're going to do. Just didn't quite cover that drift away from AmGG. Goes off stage. Ooh, but he dodges back towards the stage, and AmGG ends up getting that wall touch.
Ooh, yeah, trying to scoop in. Godly, first to act. Once again, just positioning around this weapon spawn where if he gets lucky, gets a disarm, yeah, free starve.
How does he get the stock, though? Downlight, not going to hit. Side air, not going to hit. AmGG throws out the signature. Just going to be a down air from Godly.
Such an important game here, too. Not only for the fact that it just keeps Godly in the first set, but for the fact that he needs to regain some momentum here. I think he just got a huge punch to the gut from AmGG stealing that game away.
Unfortunate for Godly there. He weapon toss to the left, likely trying to steal it away, but okay, Godly.
Hang on.
Full decision.
Off stage. Yeah, but that dare, it's like a drag up as well, so it kind of allowed Godly to make it back towards the stage. AmGG wanting all the smoke, though, getting so much more damage here. This could be another stock. Barely misses.
Godly just finds a hit in. Here's the down air. Stays low. Doesn't get the recovery, though.
Okay, high recovery. Gets the Sarah as well. At least to just push away, allow Godly one more chance here before he probably just loses stock to recovery.
Okay. Oh! Surprised that recovery actually beat out.
Ooh, throws it away. Fuse Chakram, not enough. Splits it again, but this split recovery will do it. Even, yeah, like the side lights were very close. And there it is, last stock for both players.
Little bit of a damage advantage. Godly, though, needs to find that weapon spawn. There it is on the left side, and AmGG not going to cover it. Instead, goes to the right side. Sidelight, side air. Godly's got to be careful here. He does have some health to play with, so he can throw out a wild recovery, but can't afford too much there.
Ooh, okay. Sarah was great positioning now for Godly, but just like that, AmGG fast tracks it towards center stage. Hang on, hang on!
Doesn't get the Nair, though. resets back onto the stage. Godly thanking his lucky stars, he got away from that one.
Yeah, and every single attack that doesn't result in a KO, and let's go to game 5 for Godly, I'm sweating a little bit, I'm breathing a little bit heavier, because we saw what AmGG could do in the previous set as well. What's the difference versus someone like Godly? There's the Sarah off the left side. Next one is close to just getting the stock outright, especially at this position.
AmGG gonna wait, but it's a down air, and Godly takes it to game number 5. He wants to deny the reset, but AmGG wants it.
Wow, I mean, what a crazy set this has been. AmGG stealing away that game 3, Godly hanging on in this game 4 to make it all come down to this potentially. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is going to be that decider game now. Are we getting a reset, or are we going to be crowning Godly the spring champion of 2025's European singles? We're going to find out here as we get into the next one. It's been pretty close. The damage difference, about 30, 514 versus the 486.
And we are seeing the strong Miami Dome counter pick as well. Last two picks were exactly the same, 4 stages, so maybe the change of scenery could help AmGG to force the reset.
It's definitely helping right now. Getting in with those side airs. You're seeing a little bit of a change up on how AmGG is playing. It's working to his favor as he gets in with the sig, gets in with the recovery. AmGG going aggressive off stage, and it's going to get that first stop.
Taking a page out of Godly's book for sure. Yeah, spending so much movement to go all the way out there, secure the stock. AmGG, a statement opening saying, you know what, I think you're going to have to work if you don't want me to reset you. All right. Dodging over towards the weapon. Godly now taking his time a little bit after, once again, kind of just getting dynamically punched in that first stock. A full stock behind, and AmG looking to extend the lead that much further.
Godly being a little bit more patient here. Knows that he's a full stock behind.
And once again, those are the positions where if you're Godly, you really have to capitalize more. At least just make sure you're getting edge guard position or a couple more hits out of it, right? Because AmGG so willing to sweat beat himself in these positions if it means he can get someone to yellow, get like 50, 60 damage off of it, or just take a stock outright.
Yeah, more than willing to use every resource in the kit. Godly over to the blasters. Side air from this position could do it. Down air's not.
Okay, weapon throw barely didn't connect on the side of Godly. Once again, looking for the end sig to just try to call out a jump or drift in from AmGG. Oh, the weapon toss covering the back. Wow. AmGG is just fishing for a D-Light unarmed. Didn't get any of them. I think that was like 2 or 3 straight, but the recovery with the blasters will be enough to equalize the stock. Look at that damage though, Duke.
I know, Godly. He's about to lose this second stock. He needs to get as much damage as he can, but the side air puts him off screen. Another side air could do it for AmGG. Nice. Fights back onto the stage.
Ooh, wanted to cross up. Great dodge from Godly. I mean, that recovery probably was enough to get the KO.
He's doing a little bit too many sidelines for me because there's been multiple times where AmGG is just inside of that satellite empty space.
See, maybe some adjustments are in order. AmGG waiting for it. Every single drift pattern analyzed all the way down to the frame. AmGG finds the opening. And again, it's a very comfortable lead so far to potentially reset this bracket.
Yeah, really good spot here for AmGG to get that reset, get another best of 5. Godly, he's going to try to deny as best as he can, but right now, here's the juggles. AmGG with the reset off the soft platform again.
Yeah, AmGG's now playing at like a bit of an awkward spacing for Godly's Scythe, where he really can't get any of these initiators going. Godly needs to make some magic happen if he wants to end it here. Otherwise, it could be a long 5-game set to determine our winner.
Okay, swaps weapons.
Is it Dare? Is it anything? Okay, Sair to cover the high recovery. Now do we go
Nice.
Dare? Of course.
Goes for the weapon toss just in case. Goes for grab against the sidelight, but AmGG able to get back up with the help of a neutral air.
And AmGG still had movement there. I don't think he was sweat beating, but Godly just barely misses out on securing it with the GCD light. Has to work for another stock here. gets the stock off the top, but took a few more hits because of that miss on the right side.
It is a little bit closer than it was at the start of the second stock of AmGG, but Godly, once again, still playing from behind, has taken a decent amount of damage. This would definitely be quite the upset if Godly's able to bring this one back, because AmGG was almost able to put this one away.
Oh, wow. Look at the baits from Godly, though, saying, come up here, recovery me, right? I'm going to just go for a dare to challenge you on the way up. Hasn't really shaken Godly's game plan so far, so it seems. But again, anything can change after one first hit from this pre-up.
That's the dare. Wanted to stuff it. AmGG.
Okay, really nothing there for the offstage. Godly already in red now. We saw these recoveries from Priya with the split chakrams have not been enough to get the KO even in red on a lot of these stages. So
the near doesn't hit.
Godly gets a chance.
Oh.
Godly gets a chance.
Away, the ground pound.
This is it, GCD line.
AmGG, he's got movement. He's got the touch. Godly not able to close it out. The weapon toss from AmGG keeps him alive, but Godly's still going in.
Dude, it's a reset. AmGG steals that one away, and we are going into another best-of-5 set. Godly's going for these crazy plays to try to close it out in style, and it didn't work out.
He really tried to change up that pacing and catch AmGG sleeping, but AmGG, not asleep at the wheel, was able to get that turnaround side air, had enough damage put out on Godly, and he's able to get that reset for a new best of 5.
Wow, I think we're about to see this interaction here off the right side too. Okay, just the end of it, so the reversal hit, but that last sequence on the edge guard, GCD like ground pound, free in a lot of those situations. Yep. AmGG, the wherewithal to know that you have to put a hitbox out there to challenge it, make sure he can get back, and just like that, reversals his way in to a 3-2 victory over Godly to reset the bracket.
Gave himself a lot of safety there with that up toss. Ended up denying Godly there. And now we're seeing Godly make a swap here. This is the reset, the final set for the European region, and Godly's starting it off with a Fate for game number 1.
All right. All right. We had said before, deep roster for sure. We're going back over to Small Fortress. I don't know. I mean, now we're just bringing the orb back.
Dude, all I'm saying is, like, play the Raza.
Yeah,
play the Raza.
sure.
Axe looks good in the matchup. Your blasters look good in the matchup. Play the Raza.
Hey, I mean, you never know. Like we said, Godly's got a lot of legends. We saw 5 games go almost his way. But why not make another switch up here when you have a lot more runway in a fresh set? This one decides it all, folks. It is set 2 of Grand Finals for the Spring Singles Championship.
All he needs is 3 games to go his way, and either one of these guys could be the champion here for the European region for the Spring Championship. Godly going over to the Fate. He's swapping out the blasters for an orb. But really, it's all about high-strength Scythe.
Yeah, I mean, we were singing the praises of blasters into Chakram for a while, but it really felt like the blasters were not doing too much towards the end of that set. So I don't mind the swap at all, right? Like, you trade out blasters that were pretty ineffective at dealing with stocks for AmGG for an orb that can easily get stocks with that exact sequence we just saw.
Throws out the Ensig. It comes out quick, but did not catch AmGG. Nice dash jump side air. AmGG again put into the open air, but Godly not going to over-aggress. Sidelight side air catches him coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I think just again from a raw gameplay perspective, I like this change a lot actually from Godly. So now gets to wait it out patiently. Weapon toss. Has to re-grab the weapon, though, so still keeping this one going. Traded! Gravity cancels, and AmGG gets the better end of that exchange to even it right back up.
Yeah, his gravity cancel downlight, beating out Godly's gravity cancel neutral light, and it also was able to split the chakrams there for AmGG, so we got the KO.
Doubly efficient for AmGG. Godly still maintaining the gentle lead. But the orb being online, I mean, it's not exactly what I think he wants for early damage. You want to just kind of save this for the end of your stocks where you can just easily get sidelight Sair. Godly's going to have to play it out regardless. That was an attempted anti-air that didn't quite connect. AmGG has just been oppressive on all of this advantage.
Yeah, I'm really curious how Godly's nairs on the orb are going to work out against AmGG, because that's one of the things that he's like trying to do to challenge that down air. So far, haven't seen too much of it connecting, but Right now, AmGG with that damage advantage with the weapons that he wants. He's going to be looking for those recoveries, looking for those SIGs.
Okay, Godly in a weird spot, but makes his way back towards center stage. The dares from AmGG are just threatening so much space, though, from Godly. It makes it really hard for him to try to commit back towards stage.
Okay, throws it away, goes for the end SIG. AmGG gets below, gets the recovery.
Okay. Oh,
He still got the hit, man.
yeah, he still got the hit. I mean, it's a moral victory, that's all.
Deep red, AmGG. Now he's playing out a little bit of sword gameplay. That signature actually going to drop as that wall got in the way of the interaction.
Yeah, Godly just needs one hit of anything at this point. Not that one, but find the stock before it gets too precarious. Wow, even with the sword, AmGG doing a great job at just maintaining.
Okay.
Even with that conversion, a lot of damage on the way out, and Godly, same position as some of the previous games we've had in set 1, has to play a little bit on the back foot for damage. Hold on. Hold on. Okay.
Situation changing a little bit. AmGG picking up his set of chakrams. Godly going to throw away the orb. Wants the scythe for this matchup.
Do we see that patient gameplay out of Godly now, with the fear that he could just get scooped up by one of these signatures and lose outright? Off stage, Godly sends it way off, gets the GC breakdance, and there's no movement left. Godly just took that one away.
Ooh, that was a nail biter. Right there, I thought for sure AmGG was going to go for a gravity cancel end sig, and Godly was in that position. But Godly just picking correctly, gravity canceled down heavy, actually beat out whatever option AmGG was trying to throw out there, and ends up getting him that game.
I really like that too, because I think that was actually the first time he presented that in this entire 2 sets so far between.
See, he was going for the gravity cancel end sig, it's just he was a little too slow.
Yeah.
Bad gamer.
Hey, Godly took it. And I was about to say, if Godly lost that first game, you know, from my perspective, I was like, look, the Fate actually, I think, on paper is a pretty good change for him because, again, you're swapping out the blasters for a weapon that's perhaps a little bit more efficient in finding those later damage KOs. If Godly lost that game, I was wondering, you know, does he just start flipping around the character select screen, finding something that might work against AmGG? But we don't have to ask that question quite yet because he was able to steal away that first game.
Well, in the first set of Grand Finals, Godly also took the first game. We'll see if AmGG can make a repeat of history, as that down air from Godly, not going to be too much of a threat onto AmGG.
Okay, that was Sared trying to connect through, but AmGG challenges it out. Once again, I mean, the coverage that you get from the Chakram dares, that one converted into Sared as well, was just absolutely massive. Godly somehow makes it out, though, picks up the orb. Took a lot of damage on the right side, though.
Touches back onto the stage. Godly's taking, like you said, a lot of damage. Side light into the pickup, or sorry, into the down light. That's that fuse up. That's actually going to get the KO there for AmGG.
Okay, let's see what Godly can do here. Once again, strong counterpick stage for Priya, so it seems. And yeah, we're seeing exactly why, right? The resets in movement that AmGG is able to get landing on those soft platforms have just been completely massive. Godly looking to find something, already approaching orange damage, though. This is just one string away from getting to red, probably.
I mean, right now he wants AmGG to get into the red. He needs to get this damage out. Neutral Sig not going to do it. Here's an easy punish. Recovery does disarm AmGG. Can Godly put this one in? No! Ooh. Goes for the same option of the last game. Gravity canceled down heavy.
But now with the orb in hand, bounce off the backboard at least. Just make this an awkward recovery angle for AmGG. There's the end light as well for just the get off me option, but Godly disarms himself once again. Does not matter, though, when he's able to pick up the stock off the right side. Is he going to opt for the orb? No, he's going to go back towards Scythe.
He's hurting.
Definitely hurting.
He's definitely hurting.
Okay, Godly first opening. Still denying AmGG a weapon.
Okay, just a weapon toss. AmGG, you know he wants the Chakrams. Godly gonna try to deny the weapon.
Finally gets what he's looking for, though.
Split.
Chakrams. But, I mean, look at the cost of this. The reversal hit. Okay. Still has movement.
That's it.
That's it. Godly!
What an offstage play from Godly. He's actually going to put himself into the lead off of that stage spike, and AmGG just did not have enough movement there, but...
And once again, I mean, these were positions like at the end of the first game that could have been absolutely disastrous for Godly, but just happened to work out for him pretty well. I would say actually very well, just based on stock count. We will see the recovery getting that stock off the top, so AmGG makes it a close game. But I think AmGG was like pretty comfortable for a majority of this game.
Yeah, for sure. Everything except for that little offstage engagement. AmGG seemed to be really comfortable, really happy with how things were going, but here we are. Game number 2, AmGG is behind in the game count.
Okay, and there's the end light. Is just basically, you cannot jump towards me. Working out pretty efficiently so far. Wow, look at this weight, right? AmGG knows, like, come up here, let me get my reset on the soft platform, and we're going to game 3.
He knows his win con, wants to get to it, but Godly, once again, going for the offstage engagement.
Ooh.
Weapon toss, not going to hit AmGG.
Hang on.
Gets the height. He's got the soft platform. Godly goes to the outside. Ground pound hits there. Godly running out of movement.
sweat beating.
He's high enough, though, but the gravity gets a Lensig. Godly gets another
shot.
Down
Oh my gosh.
air, Godly. Down air, Sir.
Wow.
Godly can't get back from that one. AmGG puts himself on the board 1-1.
I mean, I think everyone was predicting stock off the top, right? Like easy peasy, especially by the way AmGG was posturing on that soft platform. But to have it just be an absolute masterclass in edge guarding, wonderful stuff from AmGG to even it right back up. Now I get to ask the question, does Godly panic off of the Fate, or does he commit to it?
I think he switches. That's just a gut call too.
Yeah.
I don't have a stat for it. I think he switches. I think
he goes
to
to with you.
Wushan.
I feel like Godly's the type of player where when he loses, he goes, all right, let's try something else. I just think he's that kind of guy.
He might be. I mean, is that really what happened in the first set? So he played Taros, won, played Taros, lost, switched to Nyx, lost, switched to Nyx, won, and then lost.
Look, it's a lot of time for us to just kind of wait and be patient and figure out what's going to happen here.
Play the Raza. Godly, if you're listening, play the Raza.
Ooh-wee-oo. This is the little hypnotizing coming through.
The little like circle.
Yeah, can we do that? Can we get that effect right now?
Yeah, do y'all just have that in your pocket?
You probably have that.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
apparently we're not allowed to mid-set coach or whatever they're saying.
Is it really coaching if I'm just saying things out loud and like he hears it? Like, come on.
I didn't know we weren't allowed to have feelings around here.
Imagine
Ryan.
I'm at a LAN and I'm in the audience and I'm like, man, I think Brawlhalla would be a really cool pick. And Godly's like, oh yeah, I heard that.
Yo,
that's not my fault.
Cosign.
Let's go. That's not my fault. All right.
I don't think it's your fault either, Duke. I stand with you on this one.
Yeah.
We have to stick together. We're a united front on this.
Absolutely.
For sure.
It's our month. But right now, Godly is making the swap over to Taros for game number 2, hoping that the return to the form is going to be the thing that works best against the Priya.
Yeah, this one is a little bit odd for me, right? Because, again, we were talking about from the Nyx to the Fate, getting rid of the blasters in exchange for the orb. You're swapping out both of your weapons now, and I still kind of think the hammer was not a great option for Godly, or at least it just wasn't as good as his axe.
Yeah, I say this very often as somebody who's a Taros defender, is that like if you want high strength axe, Zol is in a way a better option. He comes in with higher strength and it's got the same axe, especially if you're not playing that hammer. Cannon, I mean, is equally not played, so it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, see if it works out for Godly. AmGG could be on his way to a first place finish. Starts with this game 3 though.
Okay, hits the recovery, doesn't get that pickup dare. Instead, AmGG going to get a lot of damage off that whiff. Nice side air, disarms, goes for the ground pound. He's low, and AmGG doesn't challenge.
Wait. Okay, scoops up. I was going to say AmGG kind of put themselves in a pretty awkward position as well. There's stomps there for the first strike. The hammer did it.
He did.
The hammer did it.
He actually did damage with the hammer. Unheard of.
And now we'll get to see the game plan reenacted for Godly if he swaps back to the axe, but we will see the hammer back online for the early parts of this stock.
Chakrams for AmGG. You can see Godly. I'm starting to understand maybe he wants hammer nair the way that he had blaster's nair, like he challenged from below. Maybe.
I'm seeing it more. I think part of it is probably because we just straight up weren't exposed to Godly using the hammer that often in some of the other Taros matches.
Ooh. Odd option there. AmGG was on the other side of him. Maybe a little bit of a misinput. Stop. Okay. Scoop up.
Once again, okay, waiting for landing. Yeah, but this is where it was a little bit awkward in set one, right? Godly was going for stomps in positions where AmGG would never, ever, ever be touching the ground, right?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't know if I love hammer in that matchup is because stomp doesn't hit in the air. If you go for gravity cancel stomp, maybe, but like for the most part, AmGG's staying in the air with this Priya.
And answers the stock right back. I mean, this could just be stomp Sair away from making it last stock. Oh, I'm surprised just not Sair in that position, but either way, Godly. Decent spot to cover on the stage. Goes for the stomp that time, and AmGG gets a couple hits in exchange.
Good jumping from AmGG and the spot dodge to get through the side air. Oop, or stomp side air, excuse me. That's going to be Godly getting the stock. Is he going to stick with the hammer? No.
Okay, we are seeing the axe a little bit more now. We didn't see the axe really at all in this game until AmGG now is on this last stock. But let's go back to the original game plan, right? 45-degree angles, anti-airs, and just switch to the hammer. Ignore everything I'm saying.
Yo! Double stomp. Love to see it. Gets that recovery. Keeps him on the off stage. Goes for the recovery. AmGG challenging him in the open air, but Godly gets above him. Didn't hit the recovery, and AmGG ends up back on the stage with the chakrams.
That was, and AmGG stole that weapon away on the right side as well. Godly, I think, was just expecting to get the axe that time. Didn't quite get there and took a ton of damage on that stock. Now posturing for a little bit more. Godly still has the lead, but I mean, again, this is just about anything off the right blast zone, off the top. Even an off the bottom KO could be possible, but Godly's not giving him a lot.
Okay. That's going to send him flying, but okay, gravity cancel sidelight, and that'll do it. Godly takes game number 3, currently up 2-1, and that was, I think, the most handedly he was able to beat out AmGG.
Yeah, it's kind of weird in that it didn't really look like Godly was doing anything crazily spectacular, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it was just very bread and butter hammer play. And for how much, you know, I was almost like a hammer hater going into that set, it really worked out well for him, I think, for some of the points that you brought up at the start of that game as well.
Yeah, I mean, he had like maybe that one little like swaggy moment where he did like sidelight stomp, stomp, recovery. But other than that, like you said, it's kind of just been like, all right, I'm just going to hit you really hard.
And it might be enough. Hitting you really hard, as it turns out, could win you an entire tournament, as Godly is one game away, once again, from taking the Spring Singles Championship.
Ooh, lands down there, ends up going for the downlight, expecting AmGG to jump.
And we're back on Miami Dome, of course. AmGG's comfort pick when playing from behind. Can he make the Game 5 happen, though? I don't know. Godly's taking this one slow now. Again, even from across legend changes, hang on a second, AmGG, wonderful sequence. But even across the legend swaps that we've been seeing from Godly, it also introduces a change in pace that we're getting. So when the Taros is online, Godly is like, dude, I'll take as long as this needs. Like, you can just come to me, I'll figure it out. What a good stock from Godly to answer another first strike. And Godly is on his way to just closing this one out in 4.
One of the very few weapons that can reversal from that position, and Godly utilizing it with that hammer down air.
And once again, we're back into this position where Godly says, feet are glued to the floor, bro. I'll be here. Oh, just whenever you want to come contact me, bang my line and I'll be around. But AmGG not getting there.
All right, AmGG, can you get this stock? Falling side air. Fake out with the fuse into the split. Oh,
wow,
goes for the fuse down light. There's the fuse down air, and that will be the KO. AmGG Starting to look for a little bit more KO efficiency. He's realizing that he's struggling a little bit, and if he wants, just go for those fused hits. That'll be just like one good big one.
Yeah, I think efficiency is really important there as well, Duke, right? Because we saw, I'm sure AmGG is probably a little bit scared after getting reversaled in that situation where, you know, 99 times out of 100, you're like, wait, I was supposed to get the stock here. What happened?
All right, good damage, though. Ooh, okay. A little bit of a fake out, ends up getting that jump side air recovery.
Real
and
nice.
Godly in a really good position to close this out and be crowned the spring champion.
He's been in this position before, though, and even AmGG had to play on the back foot for a few games, but was able to pull out some victories here. Could it be?
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness!
Oh!
It's just over! Godly, with authority, almost poetically ends it with an early off-the-top KO and says, you can put that Priya right back from where you found it. Godly will be the spring singles champion for the Europe bracket.
Godly is the champion, showing why he is the dominant force in the European region.